Purpose of life. It isn't every day that an aha moment hits, but I've been blessed with the experience of having to teach life lessons to my captors. I say blessed because it's given me the opportunity to write them all down so the world would benefit and have a different perspective than before. This morning I discovered the purpose of life, to raise your spiritual consciousness so that when you die, you will go to heaven instead of hell. When we put others first, or at least think about how you would like to be treated, and treat people that way, things go pretty well. Patty does not do that with me. It's sad to know how much support she has to create more harm. And the scary thing is, they just won't stop. I don't know what they think is going on over at my property, but the belief of this imposter means he could set me up to save himself and involve neighbors who think he works for the government still. Because the police aren't helping. And I'm not a voice of authority. I don't know my neighbors very well, and all the ones immediately around me use stalking techniques for a number of years, trying to make me feel uncomfortable enough to sell my home and move out of the neighborhood because they didn't want someone they thought was a drug dealer living in the neighborhood. That rumor started in 2017 in August by Ryan DeLaha, when he brought Bill and a young man, I think his son, into my home while I was outside in my front yard. Ryan knew Bill and I weren't getting along, and I think Ryan used it to his advantage and showed him some drugs that were in the house and tried to say that I was a drug dealer. Bill, I think, wanted revenge for embarrassing him by catching him in my backyard with the gate closed one morning. I saw him from the basement window underneath the deck and right across to the corner. And he was surprised when I came barreling up the stairs and he made it back to his property. Still don't know what he was doing there. And when I called his name, he went into the house, and that's when the trouble started. So tomorrow is the 12th of November, but I want people to know that it's a very special day because it's 111222. 3 ones and 3 twos, and 1 plus 2 is 3. The number 3, as in mind, body, and spirit, is important, and tomorrow is the Sabbath. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. None of us do. But it's an opportunity that we shouldn't pass up. I hope that there will be a crucial conversation between some people that I've needed to talk with for a very long time. I hope that people are willing and able to be open-minded to things. When we think about possibilities, we don't think of impossibilities. And when we think of the positive that can come of an exposure of R&M, the exciting future all of a sudden is right there on our doorstep. If we continue to do things the way that we are with so much control um, being forced upon us, I fear that that will break. A wind that hits a tree makes it bend, and when we're too rigid, a wind will break it. So we need to kind of roll a little bit more, I think. Believe it or not, there are beneficial uses that could be applied to remote neural monitoring. It could enter into the court system and become essential in determining lies from truth. It would change courts forever, and you would never have a wrong conviction. Child kidnapping. So many children are lost every year. And with remote neural monitoring, you'd be able to locate them immediately. Human trafficking. Some say it's a big business. I think it's a big scare. I can't imagine my whole world being changed like that. But then again, my world was changed like that, and people don't believe it. When you're a targeted individual, you essentially are trafficked, except it goes beyond, because there's slavery of the most personal kind, your own body. And once you realize that it is cancer-causing waves that does it, the impact and breath is a little bit larger. So I've been angry with my neighbors for some time, and they've all seen my anger as a mental illness. I've had to restrain my anger, and over the years, I'm not as angry now. But I've also lost so much life. Tomorrow is the Sabbath, and it's the day of rest. And when you rest, it's not sleeping in late. It may be not working, but it's just simply taking 10 or 15 minutes out of your day and reflecting on your week and how well you followed the 10 Commandments. Because as I just described in the purpose of life, is to raise your spiritual awareness so that you're ready for heaven. And when we send people to hell and it becomes a job, that is a very slippery slope. I think some people are trapped in this program, and the people I feel that are really, really, really trapped are the ones that work for the government, because they feel an obligation to stay and to protect it. I just need to remind people who work for the government that it's the people that you serve. And I can't imagine a world where emotions are muted and where true joy and laughter cease to exist. And we become this kind of robotic sameness. I can't imagine that. I wouldn't want that for my children. And if we turn this over to AI, we're going to end up with a world that's really confined and your lot in life will be set. You would no longer be able to move within the socioeconomic groups. If you were born in the ghetto, you would stay there for forever. There's no mobility. It's the caste system. And the goal is to make us all poor so that we rely on government. I have a better way, I think, but I'll tell you more about that another day. Just be knowledgeable of your role as somebody who already knows about R&M. Is to share it with those you love and care about. Because there are people suffering every day. And every day, these brave soldiers try and survive life. And nobody's there to help them. That needs to end. We need to cry together at what's been done, but also cry for joy that we've averted the most horrible future ever. I envision this scarily being the future, but I can also envision a future where there is opportunity still, and the pursuit of happiness remains solid and in place. We can reaffirm now that tomorrow all will be well.